Welcome, everyone, to the Winstel Shootout, the start of a process that will get us through to the 2026 Winstel 400 on January 4th. Begins tonight. 22 drivers from the Winstel Cup Series, last year's Winstel 400 Invitationals, all gather to kick off the 2026 racing season with a bang. And we're glad you're with us here on ABM, 2.5-mile racetrack, the world center of racing. Daytona International Speedway wears it proudly. The high banks will be attempted here, 30 laps, very short race in theory. We'll see how it all plays out here today. Your starting grid, Christian Budd, Jacob Potak, they are your front row for the race in hand tonight. Brandon McGee, Lucas Davila sit in row number 2. Nick Doucette, Nick Pressey in row 3. Sean Butler, Gabriel Mauricio in row 4. Ashley Kolonix, Brandon Cruz, row 5. Sean Peleg and Philip Snipes in row 6. The top 12 here in Daytona. Row 7, Mo Perry and Anthony Kroback. Row 8, Brandon McKissick and Carmen Sienna. Row 9, Dylan Roberts and Kevin McAdams. Jose Solis Jr. and Tristan Baker make up your top 20. Alex Bates and Evan Melanson make up your top 22. Row 11 is where you'll find them. Here's a list of who was eligible for the shootout. About 45 drivers were eligible had they elected to participate. 22 elected to do so, so about half. If you finished top 20 from last year's Winstel 400, if you finished top 10 from the Winstel Cup Series this past year, if you have won the Winstel 400 in any previous year, or if you're one of the 5 invitational entries, you were eligible to participate in the race tonight. So racing is alive here in Daytona. It is your defending Winstel 400 winner, Christian Budd, on pole position, alongside the defending Winstel Cup Series champion, Jacob Potak. I'm excited to see this race go down here tonight. Weather can't get much better. 82 degrees the air temp, 112 degrees the track temp. As we get ready to go racing, not a lot of wind either to interfere with these drivers. That being said, it is time to get ready to go racing here in Daytona. The pace car pulls in, and the green flag is out. We're racing in the Winstel Shootout. Defending Winstel 400 race winner Christian Budd leads lap 1. Brendan McGee, Nick Doucette. Right behind him. Second and third. Inside lane prevailing so far early on in this event. A lot of drivers, though, very aware that the outside lane does come into its own in this sixth-generation car. And you're seeing that. Brendan McGee takes lap 2 ahead of Nick Doucette and Sean Butler. Argentine Lucas Davila in fourth. Christian Budd being pushed by Ashley Kolonix. Kolonix trying to do her best to push Budd back to the front of the field and does so. Budd gets clear of McGee, but then loses touch. Leads lap 3. This is right back to Brendan McGee as Ashley Kolonix got pulled away from the bumper of the 07. Doucette in the 80 and the 51, Butler in the 81, Doucette in the 51. Davila in the 78. In the middle, 3 wide, being led is the 66 of Jacob Potak ahead of Philip Snipes. They're trying to make that middle lane work. McGee covers it off. Potak goes bottom. He wants back out front. And now they're 3 wide, 4 rows. Outside lane led by Doucette. Top 3 from that middle lane have all moved to the bottom. It is now McGee, Snipes, and Sienna on the inside lane. Sienna ahead of Potak as McGee leads lap number 5. All 22 cars still together here from Doucette to Kevin McAdams. Kevin McAdams, a very strong racer here. Phil Snipes drops down, complaining of oil temperatures. We'll give the outside lane an advantage as Sienna tries to work on the 94 of McGee. Sienna's first stock car race in a league capacity since her win in the HTL Cup Series Double Barrel Challenge at Atlanta almost a year ago. Her last time racing with this 6th generation car almost 4 years ago. She's got some work to do. Almost a big incident there. McGee went topside. Sienna and Potak were not ready for it. And now for the moment, the top side is the lane to be. As Nick Doucette enjoys his comfort out in front. Sean Butler, not in any distress. Sitting right now in that second position. Same can be said right now for Lucas Davila. Sienna trying to lead that inside lane back forward now with support from Christian Budd. Sienna in good hands with Bud and Ashley Kolonix sitting right there behind. So is Mo Perry. So it's 5 versus 12. So far, it's working a little bit. Sienna level with McGee. That's for 4th. You hear this a lot over the course of the Winstel 400 weekend with the duels on Friday, last chance qualifier on Saturday, and then the 400 itself on Sunday. Huge bump there that did not quite go well as McGee went middle 3 with support from Mauricio. Inside lane, shortest way around the racetrack. Outside lane, the most momentum that you can carry. All of that's important right now. And everyone figuring out what is more important in a pack of cars early on in the race. This is going to be very influential, not only in the duels on Friday, but in that 400 once everyone gets settled in and you look at 43 cars on the racetrack. It's all a positional chess game all the time. And right now, Nick Doucette, Sean Butler, and Lucas Davila have made out like bandits. Middle lane has fallen apart once again. Sienna, Bud, and Kolonix have survived the onslaught again on the inside lane. They've lost a car. The Kotak will try to join them on the inside lane. We'll try to get in line behind Mo Perry. You can see Sienna not riding the yellow line all the way through. Trying to give Christian Budd the ability to sort of breathe air into the nose of that car. Here comes Butler. Butler was waiting for Sienna to get there to the front of the field and use Sienna to take over the lead of the race from Doucette. So new race leader at the end of lap 11. Sienna up to second place, Bud in third. Inside lane prevailing once more. Outside lane trying to fight back here. Doucette and Davila sitting on the outside lane. Butler goes to the outside lane, and Sienna stays bottom side. Doucette goes to the middle. Bad bump there between Sienna and Bud. And Doucette gets back out front. Car left in the middle is Kolonix. Sienna still leads the inside lane. I misquoted earlier. It's not Kolonix middle lane. That was the, if I'm not mistaken, that was Evan Melanson stuck in the inside lane. Or stuck in the middle lane, 32. Here comes Davila. Here comes Butler. The Argentine, number 78, trying to grab his first lap sled of the event. Trouble behind, very back of the field. Tristan Baker and Philip Snipes involved. Sorry, not Philip Snipes, Kevin McAdams involved with Tristan Baker. first caution of the night. And we'll take a look at what happened here at the back of the field as it was starting to get a little bit more racy at the halfway point of the Winstel Shootout. Here you go, take a look. Looks like it actually started off the nose of the 24 of Brandon McKissick. See if we can back that up just a little bit. Not a great angle here. Everyone trying to jockey between lanes. Baker went from the bottom to the top side. We do see that, and he ends up tagging the wall. Clips the 32 of Melanson. And that's where McAdams gets his piece. See if we can get a better look at it. Let's see if we can back it up here. He reports that there was a mechanical failure on the 60 car. Let's see what happens. Yeah, this goes straight top of the racetrack. Loses complete steering. Never a good feeling under any circumstance there. Let alone when you're going about 205 miles an hour. That is sketchy as it can get. So we're back to live action here. As we get ready to go racing once again. Nick Doucette, Sean Butler will lead the field of green on this first restart of the night. Ready to get back racing here. Almost everyone came down pit lane for tires and fuel except for Doucette and Butler. We'll see how that pans out here. Green flag flies and away we go. Outside lane moved a lot quicker there. Butler, Potak, and Sienna on the outside lane. It is Doucette, Kroback, and the 07 of Christian Budd inside lane, who have been sort of left to rot here. Here comes the 94 of Brennan McGee alongside this 24 of Brandon McKissick. The outside lane moves pretty quickly here on this restart. Sienna goes to the bottom of the racetrack with help from Mauricio. McGee, Butler moves to the bottom side. Butler respecting Sienna's ability to lead a line. Sienna, though, wants a chance at the lead. And into 3, she's got it. Level standing at a turn 4. Sienna with support from Mauricio. Butler with support from McGee. Butler leads that lap. And Sienna's got good support. Mauricio, former Winstel Daytona 500 winner. Kotak, the reigning Winstel Cup Series champion. Just does not seem to be able to lead how the outside lead needs to be led. Trying to side drift a little bit down the back straightaway. Seeing if it'll help. Kotak has jumped to the bottom of the racetrack. So has Melanson, the 32. Kotak jumps topside. I don't know if he was intending to or not. But there he is. Butler now comfortable out in front. Don't sleep on Brandon McGee or Brandon McKissick. The 94 and the 24 both know how to win here at Daytona. They've opened up a little bit of a gap there to the 51 of McKissick. Sienna, meanwhile, has dropped all the way back down to the end of the field. That can be put in the middle, 3 wide. So the sucker hole, pretty effective in a 22-car field. Remember, short race, only 30 laps scheduled in this event. No 3 wides at the moment. It is 2 lanes. Outside lane led by McKissick. Inside lane led by Butler. Only car dropping off the pace right now is the 25, Nick Cressy. Business picking up just a little bit. Top 24. Underway. Car went up the racetrack. That is Kevin McAdams trying to block both the inside and outside lanes. Very bold move. Went and blocked Alex Bates, the 9 car, that metallic blue car, pushed him all the way back in the field, and jumped back down again in front of Sienna, who, once she has her legs underneath her, Sienna is a pretty decent rocket on the inside lane. But McAdams was very quick to put a kibosh on that. And they will sit 5th and 6th right now behind Butler, McGee, Melanson, and Davila. Pretty big pumping going on there. Dylan Roberts being pushed into Sienna. Everyone getting a little bit more antsy with 5 laps to go. This is where when you start making some moves, you gotta stand on business. So who's gonna stand on what? McAdams on top side to get support from McKissick. Bud's also outside lane, so is Mauricio. But so far, still outnumbered. Hip check. McKissick and Sienna. Both recovered. Sienna lost spots. McKissick gained spots out of that exchange. McKissick up to fourth. McGee and Melanson lead the way. Adams thinking about jumping in front of Bud, does so. A little bit of hesitation there. The bumps are beginning to get a little bit more serious. 3 to go. McAdams side by side with McGee. 3 wide, 3 rows, further back. McAdams support from Bud and Potak. And the 60 of Tristan Baker. Two laps to go. Trouble. Big time trouble. Multiple cars involved. Snipes, Sienna, Perry, Davila. This is the 17 of Peleg is involved in that as well. And that'll put us under the point of no return. 1 overtime attempt to get it finished. He was beginning to get frantic further back in the field. And that's what it looks like. Intriguingly, some cars coming down pit lane. The light's red. These are cars that cannot come down pit lane. Dylan Roberts and Sean Peleg have just entered a closed pit lane. The lights on pit entry were red. So what this means is that when they come out for the restart, they'll be at the back of this field. The last place you want to be. That makes their work extremely hard if they're going to try to win the shootout here. They're the only ones to do so. McAdams leads the way over McGee, Bud, Melanson, and Potak. Who comes in and who stays out? We'll take a look at the replay of that incident in a moment. This is pretty imperative to see who all comes in and stays out. Tire wear higher than expected. Top 5 stay out. Top 6 stays out. Looks like a decent number of cars stay out here. not until you get to the 12th place. Brandon Cruz. That you see some takers. So expect these cars to go full bore. Some of these cars with damage had to come down pit lane. So let's go ahead and take a look at what happened under the caution here. Caused the second caution of the night. So here's what happened. Coming to 2 laps to go. A bad bump there between Cruz and Alex Bates. That blue number 8 and the red number 54. Nick Doucette comes across the nose of Davila. There's Krobach in the 23, getting pushed by Dylan Roberts. Collins gets to the 96, a Sienna. Hooks her up the racetrack. Philip Snipes know where he can go in that exchange. Likewise, not a lot Sean Pella can do. He looks like he actually avoids it. The 17. So does the 28, Mo Perry. Really good avoidances by both of them there. On board Sienna. Not a fun ride. But a ride many have taken late into races here at Daytona. for those new to Winstel Racing, punt and overturn, pretty straightforward. This is the only chance to try to finish this race under green. This race will finish under green. If the driver causes a caution, causes a crash in these last 2 laps, they will not be scored at the finish. 5 miles to determine it all in the Winstel Shootout. McAdams and McGee lead the field to green. How wild does it get here at Daytona? Trouble already. Car spun outside. Kroback. Remember, we stay green all the way to the finish. McGee out in front, trying to control both lanes. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go in the Winstel Shootout. That was Sean Pele, the 17, that went down below the yellow line, got pushed down there. How is this going to play out? McKissick trying to get some runs going on the inside lane. It's become a 2-car party at the front. McGee versus McAdams. Trouble. Roberts gets turned. And McAdams grabs the shootout in a wild event. McAdams wins the Winstel Shootout as the field crashed behind. So Kevin McAdams, we knew he was going to be a threat, as he often is in that 26 car. He opens up the Winstel 400 events with a victory in the shootout. On top of a front row start for the Winstel 400 on Sunday. He is sitting pretty good. The front row started for the 400. He will watch the qualifying races from the sidelines. As he burns it down here in Daytona for the shootout. Ball start here in Daytona. Field comes down pit lane. And while we have you here, a look at the programming to come here on ABN for the Winstel 400, the 14th running. It's all tomorrow night. The E83 Flying Machines qualifying races. There's 3 of them tomorrow night, 8 p.m., 9 p.m., and 10 p.m. So we'll be on for quite a bit. 12 per race locked in to the Winstel 400 from Friday night's races. Last Chance Qualifier fills out the field with the last 4 to be locked in. That is Saturday at 9:30. And the 14th annual Winstel 400 live on ABN. 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday. Adding the days so you can kind of see what we're dealing with here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All Winstel all the time. Well, we're glad you joined us here for what will be a lot of fun here at Daytona across the next 3 days. Join us as we fill the field and get ready for the greatest simulation race on iRacing. See you very soon here from the World Center of Racing. Until then, take care and enjoy the new year. So long, everybody.